Hey guys, in this video, let's discuss virtual network for Redis cache. So first, we will understand private endpoint versus virtual network for Redis cache. So guys, you might be wondering that using private endpoint, we can connect to Redis cache from within virtual network and we can disable the access from public network, right? Then why there is a need to have a separate scenario, that is virtual network for Redis cache. So we will quickly try to understand the difference. Now guys, remember virtual network, that means our Redis cache, it will be hosted in that virtual network. Then virtual network, that means only resources from that virtual network. For example, VM, only such resources can access our Redis cache. And then finally we will see a practical demo where we will create Redis cache in VNet. And guys, of course, we cannot access this Redis cache from public network, that is from our local laptop. And then we will host a web API project in VM. And again guys, this VM, it will be in the same virtual network as that of Redis cache. And thus this web API hosted in VM can access this Redis cache. Now guys, let's first understand private endpoint versus hosting our Redis cache in virtual network. So again, here if you can see the screen, we have this VNet, under that we can have subnets. So basically when we create a private endpoint, we create private endpoint in VNet, right? And then using that private endpoint, the resources within this VNet, they can access our Redis cache over this private IP like this. In fact, this resource, that is Azure cache for Redis, it gets extended within this VNet. And now this resource, again this resource is our Redis cache. So it's as good as this resource is now part of this VNet only. And then again all the resources within this VNet, they can access this Redis cache over this private IP. So again guys, using private endpoint, we can restrict the access from public network and we can allow the access only from VNet. Then what is the need to have this virtual network, right? So again here if you can see the screen, we have our Azure Redis cache within this subnet, that is within this VNet. So first thing, it is completely isolated. Then second, if you know, for this VNet we can create something called firewall. So basically firewall, it secures our VNet. And now as you can guess, indirectly this firewall protects our Azure cache for Redis as well. And again this Redis cache, it is hosted in this subnet, right? And we can have something called NSG, that is network security group, which protects our subnet. And again, as you can guess, our Redis cache, it is protected by this NSG as well. And now let's see the practical demo. So guys, we are in Azure and we are creating an instance for Redis cache. So I will say create Azure cache for Redis. Let's select resource group and let's give name. So I will say my premium Azure cache for Redis. Now guys, I have intentionally given name as premium. It's because we can host Redis cache in virtual network only in premium SKU. So for example, here if I select this SKU, that is standard, then virtual network is not supported. Okay, so from here I have to select premium SKU. Let's keep cache size as 6 GB, that is P1. And now here I will say next. And guys, here now you can see this virtual network injection, that option is enabled because we have selected SKU as premium. So let's select this. And now you can see it provides us an option to select virtual network and subnet. So let's select virtual network. Subnet I will select default. And now I will say next. Next, review plus create, and then create. So guys, let's assume our Redis cache is created. Now in the interest of the time, I have already created it, and let's open that. So guys, this is our Redis cache, and now on the left hand side, let's go down. And guys, can you see this private endpoint? Let's click on that. And now as you can guess, it says private endpoint is not supported when cache is inside virtual network. And I guess it makes sense, right? And now let's go a bit up. Let's click on authentication. Let's click on access keys. And one more thing guys, I have enabled the access keys. So by default access keys are disabled. Okay, now let's go to our local project, that is Visual Studio on our local laptop. So again guys, this is the same project and it has an API which returns the list of application admins. Now inside this API, first it tries to fetch this list from Redis cache. So obviously for the first time, this list or this record, it will not be there in the cache. So for the first time, it will fetch it from the backend database, it will store it in the cache, and for subsequent calls it will fetch it from the cache and then it will return the list. Now if I try to run this project, obviously it's not gonna work and it will throw an exception because we cannot connect to this Redis cache from public network because that cache it is hosted in virtual network. Let's try that. So you can see our project is running and debugger has been hit, and now here I will say go to next, and you see it's already taking time and it will throw an exception. So let's wait, and yes, we have got the exception and it is timed out exception. And now guys, we are back in Azure and we have this VM. We are under overview, and guys see this VM, it is hosted or it is present in the same virtual network, that is my VNet, and we have hosted our Redis cache in the same VNet, right? So let's actually RDP to this VM. Now guys, how to create VM, how to enable or how to configure IIS, then how to host a web API project in this VM, I have already covered it in some other video. So I will share the link of that video in the description of this video. Okay, so here if you see, we are in IIS and we have hosted this web API project in this VM, that is in IIS, and this is the source code for this project. And let's open this app settings.json. And guys, see this connection string, it is my premium Azure cache for Redis, and this is the exact Redis cache which we created and we have hosted it in virtual network. And now let's run this API, and yes, our API is working and it returns us the list of app admins. So that's it guys, thanks for listening.